Guys, it's Andrea here with week 3 of our 13 weeks of Halloween, and today we're going to be making a traveler's notebook. So if you're not familiar with a traveler's notebook, it's just a fun way of journaling and they usually have a theme to them, and obviously this one is Halloween themed. So I made this one many years ago, and I loved it, and I have some more time on my hands now, and I want to make a new one for this year with my family. And basically, like I said, it's a journal that you put like ephemera in, things that you collected throughout the Halloween season. And if you didn't notice, the little pinwheel that we made looks like a hair bow on her on the front of the skeleton. But yes, I thought it was cute. But this is laminated. It is made with one sheet of 11 by 7 scrapbook decorative paper. And some of the pages are clipped too because there is some personal things in here. But look at this, guys. This was made when my daughter was 13 because their birthdays are in October. My husband's birthday is in October. My son's birthday is in October. And I made little clips, little coffee cup paper clips. But my daughter was 13, my son was 10, and now they're 17 and 14. And obviously they're going to be 18 and 15 very soon. And my husband, well, we're not going to tell you how old he is. He's very close to my age. So in here, you put these little folders. You can make folders for inside. You can use washi tape. You decorate the pages with cardstock, and you can make little tags and things like that. And we're going to make all of those things in the next video. And they're not going to be next Saturday. I'm going to have it up very soon after this video because this is just the 13 weeks of Halloween video. The ephemera that we put into it is just going to be a separate video because I have a really fun video coming up next Saturday for you guys, which will be week 4 of the 13 weeks of Halloween. And I think you guys are really going to like that one too. So make sure you don't miss it every Saturday. I try to have it up by 7 a.m. But yeah, so this is what we're going to do, but we're just using different paper. So I ended up, oh yeah, and I made this little spider. It was a ring spider, and I just cut it off the ring and tied it onto this piece of black twine, and then I hung it off, and it looks like a little spider crawling out of the bottom of the book, and I love it. Like I said, I've had this for so long, and I just keep it with my crafting stuff because I love looking at it. It's inspiring to me. It helps me get ideas whenever I'm just kind of stuck, but look how it looks like a flower on the skull. I don't really like skulls, like creepy skulls, but this one, the way that the paper was cut, it just worked perfectly. So yeah, I really liked it. So I'm going to put this one aside, and we're going to go ahead and jump in to make the one we're going to work on today. So this is old scrapbook paper that I had from Stampin' Up. I know I do love their paper. And we are going to use this side as the front. So this one actually was made with Stampin' Up! Paper as well. And actually, I think it was it the same? I don't think it was the same set. I think this is a different year's Halloween set. So we're going to use this, and I designed this purposely for people that do not buy 12 by 12 paper. It's designed to be able to be cut 11 by 7. So if all you have is cardstock, you can make this with just an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. But, and with cardstock, you could decorate it however you wanted. You could use stamps. You could use your Cricut to draw on it. You could do so many different things. And if you were putting this into your Cricut, you're just going to like click on a rectangle and size it 7 by 11 and cut it out. So I'm just making sure that my pattern is going the right way because I want this one specific book to be facing up. So that's how I'm deciding where to cut it at. So I'm going to cut it at the smallest cut because I know that the 11 is there. So I'm cutting it at 7 and then 11. So basically that's all the cutting we have to do right now. So we're going to put this away and just keep it close because we do have to laminate this to give it the sturdiness. Now, you don't have to laminate it, but I suggest laminating it just because it keeps it from being ruined as quickly because it is just paper, but you can get self-laminating sheets that are just super sticky and you slide them in and it seals it. But I'm going to use my laminator, and I got this particular laminator years ago at Walmart for like $19.99, and it does 3 mil and 5 mil thickness of laminating sheets. And then I just buy my laminating sheets from Amazon. Um, I don't think there's anything like you don't have to have certain brands. Now, a laminating sheet, if you're not familiar with it, is just two pieces connected, like two flaps connected together, and you just slide your paper in. And once your machine it'll say it's ready. Your little light will pop on, and then you just feed the folded side in first. So it's telling me my machine's ready, and we're going to put the folded edge directly into your machine. And I keep a hold of mine just at the ends because I don't want to get wrinkles or anything in the lamination. So you'll see here in a second how I'm just holding the edges. I am giving it a little bit of like pulling it a little bit. And then once it gets almost the entire way through, I'll let it go. And that seems to keep any wrinkles or anything like that out of my projects. So once it comes all the way through, then I'm going to flip it and I'm going to put it in long ways. So don't start putting it in long ways because you need to put the folded edge in first, but then you can run it through a second time. If it's a thicker project, I do sometimes run it through 3 times. This just keeps it from kind of warping or like being a little wiggly because of it coming out. But I like to kind of grab mine from the back and keep it flat. So now we're completely done with the laminator. We're going to put that aside. And we're going to go ahead and trim off the excess lamination. So when I'm trimming this, I'm not sizing it for trimming it from the edge of the lamination. I'm trimming it from the edge of the paper, if that makes sense. And you're going to see that when I score it, because when you laminate something, you have to leave like it's about 1/8 of an inch. You can kind of see a line where you can see it's sealed around your paper. If you cut inside that line, you're going to break the seal and it's going to split open. So you don't want that. So make sure that when you're cutting it, whether you're using a paper trimmer or scissors or whatever, you don't cut past that line, because if you do that, it's going to pop open. So here, I'm just trimming it off, and now I'm going to score it. So here when I'm scoring, I'm not going to line it up at the edge of the lamination. I'm going to take the paper edge to 4 inches. That's where my first score line has to be. So I'm taking the paper to the number 4, I'm lining it up, and there's going to be lamination over the number 4, if that makes sense. Okay, so then once you do your 4 inches, then you're going to pull the paper to 5 inches. So your laminating clear sheet is going to go past the 5, and just your paper is going to be on the 5. And then we're going to do the same thing for 9. The paper goes against the 9, and then the lamination will be a little bit over. But that's where you need your score lines. And then I'm going to take my bone folder. You could take the edge of a ruler, whatever you have, and bend at your folds, or fold at your scores. And then you're pretty much ready to put together your cording. So what you need is an elastic cord, and you can buy this on Amazon, but we're going to put holes in this. So we're going to come down not even 1/4 of an inch from the top, and we're going to come up from not even 1/4 of an inch from the bottom. So I'm going to use this pokey tool that I have for Cricut, and I'm going to poke 3 holes at the top and 3 holes at the bottom. And you can see here how they're kind of lined up. So 1, 2, 3. You don't want to poke on the fold, on like the where you scored. You want to come in a little bit and press the hole through. And then you're going to go about center, and you're going to press a hole through the center, and then you're going to press a hole to the right without going to the folded line, and then you're going to flip it and do the same to the other side. So you're just putting 3 holes in the paper and the lamination. So you don't want to put the holes just through the lamination, like where it's clear. You want to make sure you're through the paper as well. And now we need one towards the center of it, and that's going to be what wraps around your book to keep it closed. I strategically wanted mine in a certain place because I wanted to be able to see the big book, that big like orange book in the center. And now here's the piece, the hole that we just made for that one. So now I'm going to take these out so you guys can get a better like view of how this works. So this is like a stretchy cord, and it's used for making jewelry, bracelets, things like that. And I think I paid like, I don't know, $7.99 for a huge roll of it on Amazon. But basically what it does is that's what holds your little notebooks inside of the traveler's notebook. So we have to feed these through the actual the holes that we just made. So you're going to start with this center hole at either the bottom or the top. It's completely up to you. And we're going to press it through. So this is the inside of the book. That's where we need to be right now, is the inside. And we're going to press it through our center hole. So once you press it through, you're going to pull it all the way out, and you're just going to keep pulling. Do not cut it off the spool yet. Then you're going to pick either the left or right. I'm going with the right side, and I'm pressing it back into the book and pulling it through that way. And now we're going to go straight up to the matching hole at the top. I don't want to confuse you guys. So the piece that needs to be pressed through is going back to the top to match up with the hole that you just pressed it through. So we're going to pull that through, and then we're going to go back through the middle. So we're here, we're going to flip it to where the front is facing you, and you're going to press it down through this center hole. So basically you're just weaving in and out. Okay, so now we're back on the inside of the book, and we're going to press it back through the middle. So it's going to come right through the one that already is the middle hole that you started with. You're going to press this piece back down through it. So you're kind of shoving two pieces into one hole. And it's very easy if you put your head over it and look, but I didn't want to put my head in the camera and block what I was doing. So it was a little bit harder for me, but if you just lean over and look at it, you can press it right through. So yeah, so if you guys have ever used a traveler's notebook, let me know in the comments below. I like to put, we do like a fall bucket list in ours, and well, Halloween bucket list in this one. And we put like little photos, and we put like what days we're going places and where we're going. Okay, so now that it came back through the center hole, you're going to go back through the hole beside it. So it's just going to make like a little line straight across the bottom. And you're going to push it in through to the inside of the book and pull it through. And then you're going to go straight back up and put it through the top hole again, which would be the hole that the last hole you haven't gone through. You're going to push it through that, pull it through, and then you're going to put it back through the center of the hole beside it. So it's just like you start at the bottom center, you can go to the right, you pull it through, you go to the top right, you pull it through, you go to the center, you pull it through. So it's just like you're just sewing across the board. Now you're going to cut it off. And if you guys need a different explanation or me to do this like slower, I can absolutely do that. Just leave it in the comments below nicely, and I will for sure do. Why did I say nicely like that? You can just leave a comment below, and I will do it slower for you, or slow down the video so you can see it maybe a little bit better. But now we're going to put the piece on that goes through the center to hold it closed. And I'm just going to connect them together, and we're going to slide them through. We're going to do the same thing. We're just going to push it through with our little tool and pull them tight. So once we pull them tight, we're going to need to make a knot, and I'm leaving it super long because I'm not sure how long it needs to be. You just need to make sure no other elastic is caught in between this when you're tying it, because then you won't be able to slide your notebook through it. So make sure the other elastic pieces are out of the way. And I try this and I'm like, whoa, that's way too big. So I'm just going to pull it back in without pulling it all the way through, making sure that no other elastic is caught up in it. And I'm going to make a new knot and see if that will work for keeping it closed. And it does. So it's perfect. So now I'm going to go in and just trim above that knot. And it's ready for inserts. Those are going to be in the next video, like I said, but now I want to put something on the front, kind of like how I did the little pinwheel on this. I'm going to put a little tag on this one. Now I have smaller tags, but I wanted something a little bit chunkier, a little bit bigger to hang off of it. So I decided to go with this little wooden tag. I think I got these at either Family Dollar or the Dollar Tree, and I'm using an old stamp set that I have that says open if you dare. And it's super cute. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this Grapefruit Grove ink, which is like a peachy orange color. And here my blind eyes are looking for the stamp that I need. It took me way too long to find that. I need to wear my glasses more. And this is my Stamparatus from Stampin' Up. And I'm just looking to see where I want to put the stamp on. And I decided that it's small, the stamp's small for this big piece of wood, but for me it was going to be fine. I like the idea of doing it this way. Now I'm just using a little sponge to kind of antique my piece of wood, kind of like stain it with this Grapefruit Grove color. And I just wanted that little bit of orange to pick up from the paper. And now I'm going to use StazOn ink, which is just a black ink. You can use any black stamp pad that you have. And I'm just lining up the stamp where I want it. And if you don't have a Stamparatus or a stamp positioning tool, I highly recommend one. If you are into stamping or getting into stamping, it makes it really easy to stamp projects. Okay, so now I'm just pressing it down. And if I needed to, I could have repressed that. And that's the whole point of a Stamparatus, is to be able to press extra times in case you didn't press hard enough the first time to get the whole design, but it turned out perfect the first time. So now what I need to do is get a piece of ribbon, thread, whatever we want to use, and tie this tag onto the front of the notebook. And so I'm just pulling a long piece. Guys, I do use a lot of extra thread just because my nails are long and I need to have enough that I can maneuver it with long fingernails. So I just folded this cord in the twine, the baker's twine, in half, and I'm putting both pieces through, and I'm just going to do my little loop where I loop it through and it'll hang straight. If you follow any of our Facebook lives, you'll know that's the one way I keep things hanging straight whenever I decorate and do parties and things like that. That's the easiest way to keep things from twisting or turning while it's hanging up. And here I'm just deciding how high I want it to, or how low actually I want it to hang off of the elastic. And I'm just kind of lining it up where I want it and then holding it in place and then making my knot. So I take a look at it. It's perfect. It's right where I want it. So I'm going to make one more tie in a knot, pull it through, and it's ready to go. So I'm just going to trim this piece off. And we have our cute little project all ready to decorate the inside and fill it with all sorts of fun things. My kids and my husband and I are going to make our little bucket list for Halloween, and we're going to make inserts and all that, and I'm going to share that with you guys in the next video. So make sure you watch that. It should be coming up within a day or two of this one. And yeah, so here is just another view of both of them. And the tree and the pinwheels that I made in the other 13 weeks of Halloween that I'm doing. And I just think they all turned out so cute. I'm so excited. Yeah, so thanks so much for watching, guys. Remember to like and share this video. And if you're not a subscriber, we'd love to have you join our team and just subscribe with us and hang out with us and check us out on Facebook. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.